can be a good walk spoiled, but you always hit one shot.
That's right.
One or two shots, and it's usually late in the round. It makes you come back like, maybe I got this figured out.
Especially on the 18th, right?
Yeah. Until we figure it out.
There you go. I like that philosophy.
Santo Desain, a member of the class of 2024? 2023 Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. We like to sit down with past inductees and talk a little bit about what they're doing now, catch up with them, but we also want to rewind a little bit. So we're going back 3 years, and certainly a deserving honor for you. But do you remember the night? Like, how well do you remember the night? What do you remember? And like, what can some of our 2026 inductees think about as they get ready to go in?
It's a great night for, not only the inductee, but for family and friends. It's a great honor, and you just have to let yourself be engrossed by it and enjoy it, and enjoy the people around you who are enjoying it.
It's hard, though, probably a little bit, because you're in the middle of the hurricane, right? You're in the middle of the tornado spinning around you, and you got to get pictures, and you got this person, you're worried about making sure everybody's in the right spot. But a lot of inductees liken it to a wedding. Your wedding, where there's so much going on that it's hard to celebrate in the midst of the chaos. But I'm glad you were able to at least think about that, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It is. It's a little, it's a little hectic, and you're a little bit nervous. But I always felt if you weren't nervous, you need to be doing something else. I guess. Right.
That's true. So let's talk a little bit about what got you there, though. So you joined ECC as a coach initially. That's right?
Yes, I did, as a coach and a faculty member in '71.
Yeah, and you coached baseball initially?
I coached baseball for 7 years at Erie, and then I made the transition into women's sports in '77,
which at a time was a little groundbreaking, right? Because women's sports weren't what we see today, and they're making up ground quickly with the Caitlin Clarks and Angel Reeses of the world and others. Right. Those are a couple that come to mind. But in '77, there weren't a lot of household names. There wasn't probably a lot of support. There were probably some people who looked at it, as just it's something we have to do, or why are we doing this? But you were able to take it to a different level at Erie.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it, and it was a challenge to begin with, but Ralph Galani did a lot of good things for Erie, and one of the things was to support women's sports in Title IX. He really got behind it and pushed it.
Yeah. And we can get into some of that in a little bit, because I have some follow-up questions to that. So you started with basketball?
Yeah, women's basketball.
Women's basketball, then and then added softball.
Right. I didn't become the head softball coach until 1980. That was my first year as the head coach.
Right. But you had success on the hardwood with the women's team.
Yeah, we did pretty good, and I coached women's basketball up to '84.
So you had some overlap years.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
It was, yeah. It was one, especially when softball was starting, and towards the end of basketball season, it was like 4 hours of practice. You do your 2 in basketball, then you do your 2 in softball.
Yeah. And you taught.
I did.
And tell us about, you did you like the classroom?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And I don't want to get too down the philosophical road, but I know that you have a quote somewhere that the classroom was a place where open ideas should be exchanged with people, right?
Yeah.
And I think in this world we don't. In the classroom we still do,
right.
But it's all the other places where we have not so open, but exchange of ideas, certainly through social media and that. But talk about how important that is in higher education and education in general.
Yeah, I always I try to make the classroom a comfortable place for the students to express their ideas and their feelings and their attitudes. And
challenges they might have and issues they might bring up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it always worked well. I always incorporated conversation and exchange with students in every class that I had, every lesson actually. And even when I was lecturing, I would turn it into a conversation.
And what subjects did you teach?
I taught primarily health subjects, community health, drug use and abuse,
right, okay,
personal fitness.
sure,
And I also taught the history of sport in the United States.
okay. So people gravitated towards that, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And realized it was harder than they thought.
Right, yeah. I tried not to make it,
Yeah.
like rocket science, just to make it fun and interesting. I think when fun is incorporated into the educational experience, it's easier to learn and remember.
Sure, absolutely, yeah, because you want to go, right? You want to
Right.
go. I remember taking a music history class when I was in college. I thought, this will be great. I'm like, holy cow, this is hard, because they got into every little detail of it,
That's like the art history class I took.
Yeah, sure, right, yeah. It sounds like it's going to be fun, and it's fun. And
it is.
You're glad now when you're sitting there watching Jeopardy, you know some of the answers from that, but, it's that
Right,
kind of thing.
right.
So when you have that philosophy, though, in the classroom, can you take that same philosophy of openness and stuff to coaching basketball or softball or
Sure.
whatever, and what advantage does that give you as a coach then?
Well, now at the junior college level, I was always very fortunate to have serious-minded students and athletes participate on my teams. But every year you turn over at least half of your team.
Sure, right, because it's a 2-year program, right?
Right,
So,
and these girls are coming from different high schools where the coach had a different philosophy, and I always welcomed it, because if you're doing something better than I'm doing it, then I'm going to do it the way you're doing it.
Right, sure, right.
So I didn't force, exactly what my philosophy was, but once we settled on a philosophy, then we're all on board.
Right, okay.
And I never hesitated to change or adapt something that would work better.
Yeah, well, that's great. So then a lot of success on the softball field, right, with your teams, and talk a little bit about that success, and what do you think brought that along, other than great coaching, certainly, players and that, but what are some of the things that those teams had, intangibles that you either knew or did you know going into a season, this could be a special season?
Well, the 1980 team, the first team that won the Nationals, there was an article in the Buffalo News before the season started, and it said that ECC reaps bumper crop, which meant that I had a number of talented young ladies coming to Erie, had chosen Erie,
right,
for the athletic
From
program.
where were you recruiting from? Was mostly Western New York, or?
It's Western New York, yeah. The 1980 team was 100% Western New York girls from Niagara Falls, Cheektowaga, Williamsville, Lockport, even Lockport area.
Right.
And they, as I said, they're a very, very talented group, and they meld together very well.
Right.
And I think they recognized too what they had.
Sure. Okay.
And very dedicated to the sport.
And that was the first of the 2 national championship
right,
teams?
1980,
right?
right.
Yeah, okay.
And then in 81, we only had to play the entire season. We only had 3 returners.
Right. Okay.
Sally Wood rejoined us just before the regional tournament. She had suffered an injury prior to the start of the 81 season. She was our pitcher, and she came back and pitched through the regionals, the districts, and the nationals.
Right.
And we were able to attract young ladies from Western New York, and we had a couple of girls, one from Syracuse and one from a little town called Newfield.
Okay. Where's
that?
that?
Joined us. It's down the central southern New York State.
Yeah.
Yeah, small
They
town.
have the oldest covered bridge in New York State.
I think you're right.
Newfield Covered Bridge. That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the oldest in the country, I think, but still active. Yeah. Anyway, a little tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 2 young ladies from out of Western New York joined us, but everyone else was Western New York.
Yeah. Okay. And then you went on to coach and great success. And it's probably hard when you're in the middle of it to look back at your career,
Right.
and understand the impact that you're making, and because you're coaching, you're teaching, you've got a family, and your life outside of that.
Right.
It's hard to fit that in, but you do have a life outside of that, right? And but looking back on all those years, and you retired much later than that, right? So you coached. Looking back on all that, are there things you look back that fondly on, you're most proud of, that you're just really glad that those moments were part of your life?
I think what I'm most proud of is my part in helping to make the tradition for women's sports at Erie.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
that's a legacy.
Yeah.
That's a legacy, and you don't have to say that, but I'll say that. Like, you took it at a time with Ralph's help, but when it probably wasn't, first and foremost for a lot of people, but you guys changed that culture there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. Yes.
Yeah. What else? Any special moments? Any individual games, days? A player says something to you, thanks, coach, for whatever.
Well, I get cards and letters from the girls that played for me, and bringing these
still
two,
to this day, you still get that's fantastic.
And texts or emails.
Yeah,
and bringing these two teams back is a real flashback. With reminiscing and seeing people I hadn't seen for years, assistant coaches, and
So let's talk about that. So
Sure.
with the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, the dinner is September 24th this year, and tickets are on sale now. Let's not forget that. But we honor 12 inductees, people like you who go into the Hall of Fame as an inductee.
Right.
But for the last, I don't even know, maybe 10 years, I don't know how many years it is now, we've also spotlighted a team of distinction. And this year it is the 1980 and 81 ECC Cats ladies softball teams.
Right.
So we're recognizing them. So you alluded to that, of getting to see them a lot. You probably don't. You might see some of them in passing here or there, but to see groups of people you coached come back for that. What's that emotion like for the press event we had back in June, and then certainly for the dinner in September? And what are you looking forward to the most about that?
Well, we had at the press conference. I think we had 10 of the ladies there, and for the banquet we expect to be about 14 or 16,
Right.
which is a
Pretty good number, yeah.
pretty good. And it was great to see them greet each other and talk, because many of them hadn't seen each other since 1981.
Yeah. I often find myself saying time is a thief. You don't realize it, right? And then you look back and all these years pass and you see people you haven't seen in 40 or 50 years, and it's it's changed. It's emotional. It can be emotional.
Yes, it can. It can be very emotional, and there's a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, a lot of joy and excitement. I mean, they're really excited about this.
Yeah,
for sure.
And have you've talked individually with some of them, and
for sure,
with their thoughts about coming back, and how excited they're excited.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's a great honor for them.
Great honor for them. Do you stay in touch with the folks over at ECC and what they're doing in the athletic program now?
Some I do. I check. I check online and
checking the scores and stuff. Yeah,
and occasionally we'll be speaking with some prior associates at the college, and it's something you just can't leave in the rearview mirror. It's part of you.
I don't want to get too deep into the discussion because we could add another hour to this. And some of the great things you said about being a teacher and the importance of the classroom and stuff. But you also said your team turns over half the team every year because it's a 2-year school.
Right.
That's an issue that coaches in 4-year schools face every day now. Half the team turns over,
right.
With the changes in NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff. And that, I would think that's probably a little disappointing for you to see that, understanding how important the education and the continuity of that is.
Right.
But to watch what happens in higher ed athletics now, if you just share quick thoughts, and again, we could talk for an hour about it, but we're not going to.
Yeah, it just it loses some of its flavor because it doesn't seem, especially at the higher levels, it doesn't seem like amateur competition anymore. It just it seems more like professional competition,
right,
and the very high levels.
Yeah, right.
And it's to me, it's
and that all
it's
trickles
lost
down.
in
It all
that.
trickles down to the local schools, and
Right.
somebody thinks they can move up because somebody at another level
Right.
lost half their team and whatever. And yeah, it can be, I imagine, disappointing for somebody who was so steeped in developing players, keeping them for their whole time at your school, and watching them graduate
Right.
and then go on. Let's touch on that for a second. One of, I think, the great things about your teams, you had a lot of ladies graduate from the 2-year school, but
Right.
they didn't finish, right? They went on and played
Right.
at a higher level, D2, D3, and talk about the pride or the energy you got from seeing that happen as well.
That's very gratifying. And if I can go back to 80 and 81 again, something that those girls did that is kind of a silent benefit for Western New York is that it created a situation where Division I, Division II coaches throughout the country concentrated
Sure.
in Western New York.
Right.
And I think a lot of, they certainly got
And
it.
not just to watch you, but to watch some of the high
Right.
schools as well,
High
where you were
schools.
getting students from, right? Yeah.
Exactly, yes. And I'm not saying that they weren't talented, the young girls weren't talented to begin with and they weren't receiving good coaching. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that now someone's paying attention.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially for softball, because the northern teams aren't typically hotbeds for the
Right.
summer sports, right? Because you're limited in your playing time. And back then, indoor facilities aren't what they are now. So the chance for they're scouting Florida and California and Arizona, where people are playing year round. Right?
In 1980, the day before the tournament started, we had a banquet, of course, and all the coaches were sitting up at a head table, and the coach whose team was representing the southeast part of the United States leaned over to me and said, Santo, the host coach is telling people not to worry about Erie because it snows up there so much that you don't get outside.
Yeah.
I said, that's great.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. Be the sleeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what we do with snow? We turn it into snowballs and we throw those too. So
That's right.
you work
Yeah.
on your year round.
But it was that point when the girls heard about that, they realized that it was about more than themselves.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Well, and that's a team can do a lot when they get that mindset.
Right.
Right. When this isn't just about me playing; it's about us. It's about our community. Yeah. And if anybody knows anything about Western New Yorkers, just don't diss Western New York.
That's
Yeah,
right.
We can, but don't let somebody
or-
else side. Yeah.
Or Buffalo.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't do
That's-
that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Santo, it has been great.
good.
I'm sure you're looking forward to the dinner. What are you looking forward to the
Sure.
most?
I think seeing the girls and their families and
Yeah.
the inductees, of course, and kind of
It's a great night. It's such a great night.
It is. It's an amazing night. Yeah, and relating to what they're feeling,
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Well, we'll see you there. We're looking forward to it. September 24th, the Buffalo Convention Center, the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, as we get ready to induct the class of 2026 and honor the team of distinction, the 1980-1981 Lady Cats softball team. Santo, it's been great being with you
okay,
today.
it's a great honor. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.